he shows up to speak against trans kids and hears
Mhm.
all these stories from trans kids and parents and trans adults and comes to sit down and says, "Well, the first thing I want to say is I'm sorry. I came to speak against this
Mhm.
and I've gotten an education tonight." And basically like just sitting there listening to people tell their real lived experiences. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of connection. I don't have a lot of gay people in my life. He was just like I came here to speak against this and now I'm going to speak for it. It was just like
Mhm.
really beautiful to have him say it what changed his mind or what moved him from where he was to where he ended up that night was hearing the real stories and not just but like in a room with people who are
Yes.
alive, and I
Yes.
say that as a person who does a podcast and thinks digital ministry is really important, but
Yeah.
like he sat in the room with people and didn't
Yeah.
just hear a disembodied voice or a social media post, but like heard real stories of somebody saying like this is how this changed my life or this is how this affects me or this is how this is my story. And that does move people, right?
And one of the few places where that kind of togetherness and gathering still happens is, gosh darn it, like the local church.
I know, shoot. And I don't know if I mean, I know that you wear these different hats and so you're in a community not as often because you're doing this other work too, but the community where I'm working right now, like we're just seeing this influx of people who do have that, to go all the way back to the first
Yes.
thing you said was who have that spiritual hunger and who really
Yeah.
are wanting they're possibly risking stepping into a worshiping community again because
Yeah.
that hunger is so strong and they
Yeah.
want to know that there are other people in the world who are reading scripture and saying like, actually, I don't think this Jesus is the Jesus I'm hearing about all the time on the news or that
Yeah.
I'm hearing about from these specific people, and like leaning kind of back in. And yeah, I think there is something powerful to sit, as for all of its faults, the local church is for sure not perfect, and for sure nobody is, right? Which because it's just made up of people, but there is something really beautiful about when we gather in a
Yeah.
space and learn each other's stories. Like it is,
Yeah.
that phrase, it's hard to hate up close, right? Like it's really hard to be
Yeah.
face to face with somebody and hear their story.